All right, in this video, we're going to be taking a look at creating some artwork for the purposes of creating a 3D model for our 3D printer. Now, we're going to be using InkScape to create our artwork. We're going to save an SVG file, and then we'll import the SVG file into our slicer to actually create our 3D model. So, let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got going on here. So let's import the artwork. Now this artwork that we're going to be using, I actually found on Etsy. This is a special request. So I thought, hey, this will be kind of a fun little project. So I went on Etsy to find what they were asking for and found this little file here. It's $1.40, so it's pretty inexpensive. And I will link to this exact file if you want to purchase it yourself. But we'll kind of walk you through how we have to kind of nitpick this all apart and figure out what we actually got here. So the first thing here is this little box, and what we're going to be making is a pencil holder or a pen holder for teacher's desk. So we're going to go ahead and first of all right click on this and ungroup it. You see there's a group, and then it looks like we have to ungroup it again because there was a group within a group. All right, and then this group here, we can throw that away because we're not using the crayons in this example. Then next, I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and resize this to the height that we want our finished pencil box to be. And I am going to say 5 inches. So 5 inches is 125 millimeters. It's about 25 millimeters per inch, in case you're wondering. So let's look at this. We have, first of all, we have a group here. Let's get rid of the groups. We don't need no groups. All right, now let's look at this. What is this? If I toggle the eyeball on and off, okay, that is our black. So let's just name this black semicircle. Okay, and we can turn that off for now. And then our next piece, what is that? If we toggle that on and off, okay, that's our yellow. So we're going to double click and we're going to type in yellow background. Excellent. And we could, let's tell you what, this hole here, we need to get rid of. We can't have that. So we're going to get rid of that. So that takes care of that. And so we'll put that down there. Now what's next here? That is our green oval, I guess you could just say. So that's fine. And then what do we got next? We have, that is just our green corners. We'll call those green corners. Okay, and we'll turn that off. And then what do we got next? Next we have our green stripes. We'll call these green stripes. Now we don't have to do this. I like to do it. That way I can kind of keep track of what's going on here. And then this will be our green tab. All right, so now what we're going to do is select all these things that are hidden and bring those back to life here again. But we do need to change the order of our yellow background. It needs to be in the back like that. All right. So what else do we need to make our box? Well, let me think this through a second here and figure out what else we are going to need for our box. I believe we are going to need, yes indeed, so we're going to make a rectangle here. Let's go ahead and turn on snapping. So snapping is right here. We can also hit Shift 5, and we're going to snap right from the corner of our box up here and just drag it down to this corner. And then we'll go ahead and move this over like so. Okay, now let's go over to the fill. And we'll select our eyedropper here and just click right there. And now we have this extra box. All right. And let's go ahead and call this, what's this? Front of box. Something like that. And then we can push it all the way to the bottom of our layer stack. Will be fine. All right. It's there. We know it's there. We're going to use it a little bit later. So that part is just fine. And now I'm just thinking about what else we might need for this. And I think what we're going to do here, let's just grab a little rectangle here. I am going to change its color just so we could see this a little bit better. But what I want to do is set that width to be, let's do 3 millimeters. I think that's fine. And we'll drag this back down here, and then we can slide it right over here. We'll stamp it right into place here. Okay, that'll work. And then we're going to duplicate it by hitting Control D on our keyboard. And we're going to slide that over. And then we'll go back to our rectangle tool here. And we'll just drag out a rectangle. And then let's go ahead and set that to 3 millimeters tall. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and push this down to the bottom of our layer stack. Something like that. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll take those 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, and we'll go to Path and Union. Now this all makes sense here momentarily, but this is going to be our sides. Okay, so maybe push it down there. That'll be fine. All right, so that is all of our work here in Inkscape. See, that wasn't so painful now, was it? So we're going to go ahead and save this, and we'll call it Crayon Pen Holder. Okay, and hit save. All right, so now our work is done here in Inkscape. Now we can pop over to our slicer and show you what we're going to do there. So here we are in Bamboo Studio. Now what I'm about to show you is not exclusive to Bamboo Studio, so you should be able to follow along in your slicer as well. So first things first, let's go ahead and import the artwork in question here. There it is. There's our artwork. And what I'd like to do first is go through and define all of our pieces. So for example, this first piece is going to be our front. And then what do we got? We've got our sides. And then we're going to have our back. And then we are going to have our flap. And then we're going to have our oval. And we are going to have our corners, our stripes, and then finally our tab. Excellent. So the tab, the stripes, the corners, the oval, the flap are all going to be 1 millimeter thick. Okay, so that takes care of all of that. The back is going to be 3 millimeters thick. The side is going to be 50 millimeters thick. That's roughly 2 inches. And then the front is going to be 3 millimeters thick. The front is going to be yellow, so let's go ahead and set that color to yellow. The sides are going to be yellow, so we'll set that to yellow as well. And then the back is going to be yellow, so we'll set that to yellow. The flap is actually going to be black, so we'll set that to 1. The oval is, and the corners and the stripes are all going to be green, so we can set all those together, as well as the tab. Okay, so that takes care of all of that. So now what we have to do is just kind of stack these in the proper order. Let's begin with our back piece here. So let's click on back, and that should be sitting on our build plate. So for that to sit on our build plate, the back is 3, half of 3 is 1.5, so the world coordinate has to be 1.5. Okay, and then we'll take a look at our front. Now our front is 3, half of 3 is 1.5, but it needs to be sitting, the top of our front needs to be sitting at 50. 50 minus 1, of course, is 49, minus a half is 48.5. So we'll go ahead and go to our world coordinates here and set that to 48.5, and then that will be even with the top of my box. You see that there? See how that's all going to work? All right, so that takes care of that. Now, the oval and the corners and the stripes, okay, those all have a world coordinate value of 25. So these need to be sitting at 50.5. And so in order for those to be sitting at 50.5, we're going to go to the Move tool, and we're going to add to what's already there. So it's already at 25, so we just need to put in 25.5, and then those will be sitting on top of our crayon box, just like that. Okay, so back over here, we need to deal with our flap. Our flap also needs to be sitting at 50.5. So we'll go ahead and select that and go to world coordinates here. You see it's already at 25, but we'll do 50.5. And now that flap is sitting on top of our box as well. All right. And then let's see, we need our little tab. Our tab needs to be sitting on top of 3, so its world coordinate value needs to be 3.5 because it's only 1 millimeter thick. Half of 1 is 0.5 plus the 3 of our back, that's why it's 3.5. So as you can see, now this is all good to go. Now, I do not know if we were to rotate this vertically, we could go ahead and do that and slice it and see if we are going to need supports. Okay, I really don't know if we do or not. You know, those pieces are only a millimeter thick, so maybe we could get by without it. I just don't know. So let's go ahead and slice it and see what happens. Nope. It says we need, it says to reorient the object or enable supports. So let's go back to the Prepare tab. And let's go ahead and select our object. Now we do have the option here to auto orient. So let's go ahead and choose that and see how it tells us to do it. So I think it tells us basically just to leave it the way it is. So let's come in here to supports and let's go ahead and add supports and see what actually needs to be supported here, because I really don't know. And then we'll decide if we're going to print it vertically or print it horizontally. Oh, yes, the tab. Okay, the tab needed supports. Yes, that makes sense. So you can see how those supports are going to be generated on the back side. Yes, yes. Because I was going to say all this little stuff with the 1 millimeter stuff, that should need support. So nope. So that's fine. Yes, we do have to support that. So yeah, we're going to run with that just like that. And let's see how long this takes to print. 15 hours. Boy, we definitely don't like that. That is not ideal. So that should not take no 15 hours, should it? Let's go ahead and add a new build plate here. And let's copy and paste. Let's go ahead and rotate this back down. So we're just going to say 0. And let's slice this plate. Yep, let's go ahead and slice this plate. I think we're going to need supports, obviously, because we have that big cantilever on the inside here of our box. But I just can't believe, I'll have to look and see what, I know I have 0.4 of a nozzle selected, but I don't know what my laser height and stuff, my layer height and stuff, maybe that might be mixed up why it's taking forever and a day to print. Well, that's certainly more respectable time. 5 hours and 32 minutes. And notice the color, the filament changes. It's only 9 filament changes. And I think that's what was hurting us on the other vertical option there. But let's go ahead and look around here. The only thing that is kind of overkill is all of the supports that are generated for that big cantilever there. So that is a potential issue. Now, one thing that we could do to help with that is set this up for printing separately and gluing this lid in place. So we might look into possibly doing that. Just setting it up just a bit slightly differently um, to help mitigate that a little bit more. So that'd be something to look at. But if we go back to this one, what's killing us here as far as time, and I really hadn't considered that, is the 419 color changes. So that's why that was taking forever. So that we're definitely not doing. So yes, so that is a big no-no there. So this is how we could do it. But like I say, we could possibly just modify this a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and add a, I'm just trying to think exactly how best to do this where it's going to make the most sense here. So I think what we'll do is we'll copy and paste this to a new build plate. And then let's go ahead on this build plate. Let's delete the pieces that we're not going to use. So we'll go ahead and delete those. And then let's add a new build plate because we do want that option to print it all in one with supports. But then over here, we'll go ahead and get rid of all of this. Yep, I think that's all well and good there. So now we just have to put this on the build plate. So to do this, we're going to alt-click our what is going to be our front, and we're going to set that front here. So this piece here is at 1.5 like it's supposed to be, and then these should be at 2. All these pieces should be at 2. And you can see that's at 350. Oh, I'm sorry, 350, yes. I'm sorry, yes, 350. That's what those should be, and they are. So that's all well and good right there. So now this is how I would print it. So previously, this one takes 5 hours, and this one, we'll go ahead and just slice it. You can see this one's going to take 1 hour and 49 minutes. And then to print the cover, we'll go ahead and slice the cover. And you can see that's going to take 1 hour. So much less time, which is good, but then we do have the negative that we have to glue this to this. And you may or may not want to do that. So those are the 2 options that you have available. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click here and center this. We'll go ahead and right click here and we'll center it. And then yes, we're going to go ahead and click on here and we'll center it up as well. So those are the 2 options. Print it whole with a bunch of supports, and it's going to take like 5 hours, or it's going to take about 2.5, 3 hours to do it separately, but then we have to glue it together. Okay, so that's how we take our SVG file from InkScape and turn it into a 3D model. So until next time, thanks for watching.